Favorite place to travel to?
In Canada.
Oh my God, let me get ready. Let me get ready. Newfoundland. Vancouver, but I live there.
Newfoundland or Vancouver?
Newfoundland, the people, and they don't lock their doors, and they're so open and welcoming, and like everyone is just such a sweetheart. I love it there. She wins. That's true.
I have to say BC. Canada's like an untapped gem. It's beautiful, nature, it's everything that Canada represents.
Quebec City.
So I've been across Canada 5 times hitchhiking. The Okanagan Valley, we have a desert, and that blew me away.
Vancouver.
Most beautiful location in Quebec?
Charlevoix, like the view, the mountain, the ski resort over there.
All right, welcome to a brand new video. In this one, we are interviewing Canadian founders at the One of a Kind show. We're asking them questions about their business, entrepreneurial tips and tricks. If you're looking to start a business, you're gonna know all of the basics. And of course, rapid fire questions about Canada. This is gonna be a fun one. So hopefully in today's video, you get some ideas of Canadian-based brands that you can support. And with that, let's jump on into things. We wanna know, who are you? What's your business? And what's your mission?
I'm Victoria, I'm the founder of Uncommon.
My name's Shabby. I am the founder and CEO of Market Candle Company.
So we're Birch Babe. We're a high quality skincare brand for the low maintenance babe.
My name is Nicholas. I'm from Montreal. The name of my business is MTL Balance Board.
Tell me about this moss art, because it looks so cool.
My name's Anne-Marie. I'm the Moss Lady.
Our mission is basically to be the community for visionaries of change.
I work with preserved mosses. I'm actually based in Vancouver, so I literally have the forest backing my home. And so that's my inspiration.
I'm a chemical engineer turned ice cream entrepreneur.
Oh my God.
I started my business 6 years ago in my basement. Things escalated a little quickly. We're now operating out of a 3,000 square foot facility in Newmarket.
So basically we do balance board that are handmade here in Canada with 100% recycled wood.
And our ice cream is all about just food inclusivity. We want people to be able to enjoy ice cream as comfortably as possible.
I really started this brand because my dad has a sweatshirt that's like 40 something years old, and it's one of my favorites to this day. I still grab for it. In today's day and age, there's no quality clothing.
I own the company Solid Leather. I've been working with leather for over 20 years, specialize in a belt and really a belt that's gonna last.
We're a husband and wife team. We make handmade wooden toys for kids. We started in the pandemic for my own daughter. Started off with some toys that really inspired me for her, what she would love to play with. And then people liked it, had an interest, and it grew from there.
Birch Babe actually started 8 years ago when our mom hiked from Patagonia to Chile by herself. Came home from her epic hike. She quit her job, went back to school at 60, and got 2 diplomas as an organic skincare formulator.
She won't quit.
She just won't quit.
So creating something that's more high quality, Canadian made, supporting our own economy, and all that fun stuff.
So then 3 years later, my sister and I here came on board. We helped grow the brand organically from being in 30 stores to now 300 stores across North America.
Wow. What was one of your biggest challenges starting out, especially since you said you started in a basement? Like, that just sounds crazy to begin with.
Yeah, space and money were definitely a challenge at first.
Oh my God.
I'm sure she could give me like...
I could talk till my face is blue.
Honestly, it was believing that I could actually sustain my living. We hit COVID about 6 months in, so then that was a whole other kind of threshold.
For the last 4 years working together, we are still 100% female, family-owned, Canadian-owned, Canadian-operated, and Canadian-made in our lab near Bon Echo Provincial Park in Ontario.
This sounds so cool. I don't think you realize how cool it is.
I am such a perfectionist. I work so hard at coming out with the product.
Making people try it. Because most of the time people are kind of scared. They don't want to fail. But I have to say that I'm gaining more and more experience year after year. I got a better technique, a better approach so that people give it a try.
I have 2 kids, and so really starting off a business with 2 young kids and just kind of getting balance and understanding what balance looks like for me, I think.
100%. It's like the self-worth. It's about believing in yourself and following your true desire.
Me personally, I was like, are we doing it wrong? Should we be getting investors? Well, and I felt like everyone's glamorizing getting investors and raising capital, and we were thinking like, should we be doing this? So we actually researched it for the last year, thinking, what are we like? Are we doing something wrong?
Definitely cash flow. Like, I mean, any product-based business where like I'm dropping easily 30, 40 grand on leather at a time because I'm bringing in full hides, strip them down. So a lot of it's just cash flow management.
And I try to be like, you know what, like this is really good as is. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's just who I am.
So I ran away from art my whole life, thinking I could never make a living doing it, and it's been chasing me. And so I'm glad I've actually surrendered.
I love that.
The thing that surprised me is a lot of people will say overcoming a self-belief that it was possible, and your like actual product demo is like just get on the board and like see how it works.
Yeah, just try it.
And every single person unanimously said you need to keep doing what you're doing and 100% own the business because you've gotten this far and you have to keep going.
Yeah. So what have you done to support Canadian made? I know she's told me a little bit already. This is crazy.
Opened our own manufacturing studio. So we have about 16 industrial sewing machines, bunch of industrial equipment. So we produce, cut, sew, sample everything here. We don't go overseas for anything.
Is it Canadian wood, or where do you get your wood?
Yeah, so all the wood is local. The hardwoods we use are maple, cherry, and walnut woods, so they're all from Ontario.
Is it Canadian leather?
Yep.
Canadian.
No, sadly, leather is a lot like oil in Canada.
Okay.
So we produce a ton of oil, but we have no or we produce a ton of cattle, but we have no tanneries.
It is blowing my mind, like learning about this.
And then we wanted to take it a step further. About 2.5 years ago, we really made the step forward to actually find a mill here in Toronto that is going to produce our fabrics. We get it all done here, and then they ship it off to us, or we pick it up with our trailer because freight costs are very expensive. And
Small business.
yeah, small business. I feel like you got to cut costs where you can, and it's not going to be in our quality. It's definitely not going to be in our quality.
And you do that with your ingredients, or what's the full sort of?
Yeah, definitely. So it's 3 different approaches to make sure that food is as inclusive as possible. So the first is that we work with A2 milk, and if you're not familiar with it, it's just a milk that has a protein that's gentler on people's stomachs. The second thing we do is that we make sure that we're gluten-free all the time, because that is a significant area of discomfort for people. Finally, we realize that there are people that just milk is never going to be an option for them, whether by choice or by need. So 25% of what we offer every single time is plant-based, but plant-based with intention. Plant-based to be like the best possible flavor you've ever had.
How'd you go about practicing candle making like pure? Did you just go on YouTube and like
I
figure it out, or?
really quite dangerously DIY'd it myself. I made bridal shower favors, and my friends loved them. And then I was like, oh, maybe I should try to actually learn how to properly make them. So I did a little bit of light research through some suppliers. And actually, I think I got pretty lucky because it didn't take me a super long time to master it. And now we've just kind of really honed in, and we're growing and we're learning, and I'm always keeping my ears open for like what's new and what's up and coming.
So how did you get into it? Was it because of your dietary restrictions, or did you have somebody that?
It's really my family experience. We're a family of 4, and this is why we also spell it FOUR. So not only are we trying to make everything for, I'm going to say we're not everything for everyone, but we want to have ice cream for all.
That was my
But it's spelled FOUR because it's a reflection of my family of 4 and our ice cream experiences. And so one of my daughters can't do dairy, never ever. It's not a choice. It's not like it just can't happen. And so, going out for ice cream as an experience, I think is a common family experience, but knowing that one of your members of your family has to have either nothing or a less than choice really was the reason of starting.
Basically, I did a trip to Costa Rica a couple of years ago, and I stayed there for 6 months, and I got introduced to this by surfers. They use it as an outside the water workout. When they don't have access to the wave, this is the next best thing that'll recreate partially the instability that you have when you're surfing. So it works on the same muscle, so you're able to practice surfing without being on the wave necessarily.
Do you surf?
I do.
I gotta get one of these.
I hope, yeah, I'd like to.
So what was your other path? Do you mind sharing a little bit? Was it super corporate, or was it?
No, not at all. I was actually doing breath work and coaching to help people heal. And then what I realized is that you can actually heal in many different ways. And so through nature and art is actually a healing modality.
Oh, I was a little vagabond hippie in my 20s, and I was just traveling around in the States a lot and needed a way to make money on the road. Wow. So I've always kind of been a bit of an entrepreneur, and it was ironically, I would take old belts and cut them up and make them into bracelets. So it was like the 90s when we had those like rocker vibes. And so I would take old belts, chop them up, sit on a street corner, just start selling. And then somebody would be like, oh, I really want a bracelet. And I'd be like, oh, I really want a place to stage a night, And so like from there, and then somebody would be like, once I settled, and somebody would be like, ooh, do you make belts? And I'd be like, oh, well, that's just a bracelet for your hips. Or, oh, I want a bag. And I'm like, well, I've never made that. Let's try. So it's very self-taught.
You had 3 pieces of advice for someone looking to start a business in Canada. What would those 3 pieces of advice be?
I only have one. If you love what you do, you will make money at it.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's it. That's really...
Be outspoken. Don't be scared to fail. Everybody fails. It's not how you fall that matters, how you get back up. And be persistent and resilient, because you're going to face challenges, and sometimes some of them are harder than others. But the most important is to keep your eyes on the goal and just do what you love, be passionate about it, and it's going to transpire in the way you behave, the way you do things, and people will notice it, and success will come afterwards, I think.
Tell everybody what you're doing. Talk about it as much as you can. What I've been pleasantly surprised about is that people want to help, and if people understand what they can do for you to help out, they will. If it's like this, I think there's something about people where, oh, I can do that for you, or I can connect you with that. And so just being like unafraid to kind of almost consistently pitching. You're always telling people what you're doing to get people interested and see, like, you'll just get help in unsurprising areas. Be ready to fail. You're gonna fall down. It will not be perfect, I think.
I don't know. I think in this day and age, risk isn't as big of a deal. Like, don't throw all your eggs in a basket, you know? Like, don't just like drop your financial, like, don't put it all in Bitcoin. Like, if that, you know, like, hope for the best. Yeah, surround yourself with good people and like customer service. I would say customer service. That's my big one. So that's one thing that I really, really focus on. So like, they're a lifetime guaranteed belt, anything ever, you know, the fact that you're wearing something I made with my hands is really, really cool. So I want you wearing it. So I think if you focus on the customer first and then worry about everything else afterwards, you know, it's like the Seth Godin build a tribe style. Yeah.
Favorite place to travel to in Canada?
Oh my God, let me get ready. Newfoundland. Vancouver, but I live there.
Newfoundland or Vancouver?
Newfoundland, and the people, and they don't lock their doors, and they're so open and welcoming, and like everyone is just such a sweetheart. I love it there. She wins. That's true.
I have to say BC. Canada's like an untapped gem. It's beautiful, nature, it's everything that Canada represents.
Quebec City.
So I've been across Canada 5 times hitchhiking. The Okanagan Valley, we have a desert, and that blew me away.
Vancouver.
Most beautiful location in Quebec.
Charlevoix, like the view, the mountain, the ski resort over there.
I love Vancouver. The mountains bring my soul peace.
Mountains, not beaches.
Yeah, that's fair.
Same, no way. Favorite Canadian snack?
Beaver tail. Maple syrup on anything.
Ketchup chips.
Poutine, obviously, from Quebec. What do you think?
Oh, poutine.
Is ketchup chips a Canadian snack? Because I love ketchup chips. I'm a ketchup chip. I love ketchup chips.
I grew up in Ottawa, so I feel like beaver tails is the thing.
Restaurants or cafes to go to? Anywhere.
Metropolis Mercantile. Top tier.
Okay, the business in Toronto that you guys have to check out, Andrea's Cookies.
All right, and that's going to end today's video. If you enjoyed this new format on the channel, be sure to comment. Let me know what parts of it you liked and what you want to see more of. We're going to be going deeper into Canadian business owners' stories and learning about their crafts in the future. So if that interests you, be sure to follow along. And with that, I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.